Hi, book lovers. It's Jenny at Julia Baby Jen, and this is Friday Reads. Okay, so today is Friday, April 14th, and it's time for another Friday Reads. I'm in the middle of Tome Topple right now, and the last few days have gone really slowly. I'm really behind now. I was doing so well, and the last few days I've just been so tired and exhausted, and I just haven't got a lot of reading done. We're about a little over a week into it, so I have another week left. I don't think I'm going to finish all the books now. Not that I was thinking I was going to finish all of them, but I'm kind of disappointed in myself, but what can you do? Just keep going, right? Enjoy the books. I am enjoying the books I'm reading, so that's number one important. So it's just taking me a little longer than normal to finish them. Every time I lay down and start to read them, I fall asleep. I've just been so tired. Lately, it's been working and sleeping, and that's been it. So, anyway, right now I am reading Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I am finally getting really far into this. If you can see, there's my progress. I'm on page 406, and it's 532 pages. So I'm hoping I can finish this tonight. I would really like to. It's not a quick read. Laini Taylor books aren't, and I wasn't expecting it to be. It's very in-depth, beautiful writing, and you want to take your time with it. So I am taking my time with it, and I'm enjoying the read a lot. It's a wonderful read. So yeah, I'm hoping I can finish this tonight. I have been marking quotes because her books are so quotable in it, and I could mark so many more, but I'm trying to pick just my favorites, and I will go over those when I do my book review for this. So yeah, I am enjoying this quite a bit. This is a fantasy, YA fantasy. It's a little bit older YA fantasy about a world where this one city, it's called the City of Weep. It's a magical city that one day just sort of ceased to exist. It still exists, but it was like wiped from the memory of everybody else who lives outside the city, and it's been cut off from the rest of the world, and no one remembers what its true name is. It's now called Weep, and something really bad happened there, and we don't know what. We're following Laszlo, who was an orphan during the war, and they gave him the name Laszlo, and every orphan they don't know what their name was, their last name was Strange, so his name is Laszlo Strange, and he is a major dreamer and a lover of books, and he didn't really fit in with the monks where he was at and who were taking care of him. He ended up being apprentice at the Great Library in this city. It's an amazing library, and that's where he's been ever since. And he's been obsessed with the City of Wheat because he does remember the day that it was wiped from his mind. And he was 5 years old. So he wants to discover the secrets of it, and this book is all about basically that. And he's called Strange the Dreamer because he's such a dreamer. So it's an amazing story. There's so much more to this. It's just wonderful fantasy. I just love this story so much. It's a book for book lovers because it's about the love of books and libraries and that kind of thing. And it's also about dreams and dreamers and gods and monsters and all kinds of stuff. It's just a really wonderful fantasy. I'm just really loving this. I started reading, and I haven't gotten far in because I've really been concentrating on Strange the Dreamer, but I started A Conjuring of Light, and so far this is really good. And mainly I haven't picked it back up very much because I'm afraid if I do, I'll set aside Strange the Dreamer, and I really want to finish that one too. So it's kind of like, which book do I read? I don't know. I'm not very far in this one. I am on page 63 in this, and it has 624 pages. But I have a feeling that once I finish Strange the Dreamer and devote my attention to this, I will fly through this. I am just loving this series. This is wonderful fantasy. It's very, very different than a lot of other fantasy that I've read because even though it's a wonderful world and has such a great concept, it doesn't have it's not so much like an epic fantasy, although it kind of feels that way. It's just written in a way that's very different, where it moves really quickly. And sometimes I wish we got a little more detail in the world building, but there's enough to give us a good grasp on what's going on. I just really love the style. It's totally different than any other fantasy I think I've ever read, and I really am loving it. It's just the characters are amazing, the concept is cool, the plot's awesome. It's just very fast moving, really, it's almost like a cross between a fantasy and an action adventure. I mean, you have that alternate dimension thing too, so it has a little bit of science fiction to it with that. So it kind of is a cross between those, a epic fantasy and a quick moving action adventure. And I'm just really loving it. It's just amazing book or amazing series, and this book so far is really good too. And my next book after I finish those two, which I hopefully will finish this weekend, my next Tome Topple I'm going to read is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, which I am really looking forward to this. I can't wait to dive into this one. So yeah. And then I'm still listening to Outlander. I don't have any hope of finishing that anytime soon. Oh, this one is 536 pages. And I'm still listening to Outlander. I don't have any hope of finishing that anytime soon. I'm about 10% into it, which is like 80 something. It's like 800 and might be 900 pages. But anyway, I'm like between pages 80 and 90 in the book. I'm really enjoying it, much more than I thought I would. And I've heard a lot of people who have been on the buddy read with me who haven't enjoyed it at all. And I'm really kind of into it. I really kind of like it. I much more than I thought. But I didn't have high expectations. I know I've always thought it was probably overhyped. But so far it's really good. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, but I do like period drama, epic romance type books like Gone with the Wind or The Bronze Horseman, things like that. So it's not too surprising that I'm liking this. It's interesting and it's made me laugh out loud a lot more than I thought. It has a great sense of humor to it. So far I really like it. And that is what I am reading right now. Leave me comments below what you're reading this weekend, and if you want to talk about any of these books or how you're doing, if you're doing the Tome Topple, how your reads are going. I guess I should say, as far as Tome Topple, I've actually finished one book. I finished A Gathering of Shadows, and then I'm in the middle of 3 more, and then going to start a 4th here soon. So I think my TBR was 9. So yeah, I'm not doing the best, but like I said, Strange the Dreamer is kind of a one that's going to take a little while to get through. A Conjuring of Light, I think I'll get through pretty quickly. I think Crooked Kingdom I will too. Some of the other ones I might. We'll see. Anyway, I hope everyone has a good weekend, and I will talk to you later.